Hello everyone and welcome to another review. Today we're going to go ahead and review a fragrance that was released way back in 1996. The fragrance we're going to talk about is called Azzaro Chrome. Now this fragrance has been requested by a lot of people for me to review, and it's been a long time in coming. I've actually reviewed Flanker for Azzaro Chrome, the summer edition, back when, and I just never got around to reviewing the original, but here it is. Here's the review for the original. Now the bottle, it's very similar to the other Chrome bottles. It's got that, decent shape. I mean, it really doesn't have anything to write home about. Now, the major takeaway from this as far as sizes go, it's available kind of in your standard sizes, but the biggest thing to take away is that it's heavily faked. So you can find fakes of this fragrance all around, so you want to be really careful when you're purchasing this one and make sure that you're only purchasing it from an authorized retailer. And even with, the gray market sites and everything like that, I would still be careful just because, again, this fragrance has been around for a long time and it's been heavily faked, and I have come across fake versions for this, and I actually can tell the difference between some of the faked versions of these smells, all right? So that's it. So let's dive right into the actual cost of the fragrance and the notes of the fragrance. Now, the cost, it's going to run you at this point roughly about $30 to $50 if you're buying a genuine pair. You can find it a little bit cheaper for that, but again, beware from some of these places that you're buying. And on top of that, again, it's just been out for so long. So the notes of the fragrance, they're on the screen. This fragrance immediately comes off as a metallic scent. It comes off as a sea scent. It comes off as a citrusy scent. So you'll notice I mentioned three things there, and those real three things are genuinely what I get from this fragrance. At any different time, I'm kind of reminded of one of those three different things. And so when I hear people describe this scent, it makes complete sense to me. Depending on how you perceive scent, you'll probably come away with either thinking this is a metallic scent, it's a sea salty scent, or it's a citrusy scent, and all of three of which I think are valid. I think it really just depends on what your nose is really honing in on and keying in on. At the end of the day, it's a very clean scent, very well put together, and at the same time, very simple in my regards. It really reminds me of two fragrances that are out there. One is one of the CK1 fragrances, I think it's CKB, and the other one is Nautica Voyage. Those two fragrances really remind me of this. Now, when I spray, I go about 2 or 3 sprays. Now, I try and keep it down just because this fragrance will give me a headache if I go over 3 sprays. I noticed that very quickly, and it's something that, really kind of came in. So be careful when you're spraying this scent. Now, I think it's a good fragrance for the spring and the summer. I think it's a good fragrance to wear casually and even to work. Since it's a very clean scent, it's something that you can get away with around crowds and be a people pleaser. Speaking of people pleaser, it's a decent compliment getter, and I have had decent success with this fragrance going around. On the plus side, they're going to think you smell good. On the negative side, they're going to think you smell, well, a little bit generic, like a lot of other citruses out there, which is not surprising because it's been around for quite such a long time. And at this point, many fragrances have kind of modeled it, and mirrored fragrances that are like it. So, that's it. It's a great fragrance for the younger generation, and the performance-wise, I get a genuine 7 hours out of this fragrance, 6-7 hours, and as far as the projection, it's projecting a good amount away from my skin. I'm talking about 3 feet. So it's a well-performing fragrance in my eyes. Not monster performing, but it's decently performing. So if I'm going to go ahead and give this fragrance a rating, I give this fragrance a rating a 4 out of 5 stars. Now, I know that may seem a little bit high for some of you, but I'm giving it a couple of bonus points. 1, I do think that this is a good smell. 2, it has been out for a long time. So yes, I get it. There are a lot of fragrances of this same genre that, in my opinion, are better than this fragrance. But at some point, I'm going to have to draw the line and say, well, this came out first before a lot of those fragrances, and it kind of did it first. So it kind of still retains that uniqueness, that originality. I know that there are other fragrances around there, but this kind of does it pretty well for that. It's a fragrance that lasts a good amount of time on your skin. It's going to be a decent amount of compliment getting. On the worst side, however, again, you overspray this. This is one of those that will give you a headache and probably give other people around you a headache. Two, it's while it does maintain that clean scent and it is a great scent for that, it's not really original in that fact. It's original for its time, but now you're not really getting something that's going to have people shaking their heads and being like, whoa, what is that? I've never smelled that before. That's not going to happen. They're definitely going to have smelled something like this or something similar like this. Yeah, and as far as the value goes, at this point, this one I'm kind of shaking my head sideways for this one because again, fakes all around. Be very careful with this one. You will definitely come across a fake, especially if you come across, I live in New York and I go down, Broadway and I see all these fragrance stores that are there, and I don't trust those stores, by the way. But either way, you see it kind of littered around there, and it is what it is. All right. So again, a solid 4 out of 5 stars. If you have an opinion on this fragrance, tell me what your experiences are. Always curious. I would love to hear it. Thank you guys. Take care of yourselves, and you guys have a great day.